What's up everyone, Socrates101 here, and today we are bringing back a team building video. So this week's team actually got a lot of requests. I posed some options which you could choose from, some cores I wanted to build around, and I got a lot of requests for doing the Mega Diancie plus Magnezone team. So that's what we're going to do this time. The reason why this core works well is basically because Mega Diancie can kill everything apart from bulky steel types. What Magnezone does with the magnet pull is just it pulls them in. It disables them to switch out basically, and then you can kill them with either HP fire, and if it's a Skarmory, then you can kill it either with a volt switch or a thunderbolt. So that's why they basically work really well. Once you set up a rock polish with Mega Diancie, you can count on one hand how many walls that can actually stop this threat. And Mega Diancie is being used on this particular team as a late game sweeper. That's why I don't have Calm Mind or anything else, or maybe even Protect. I just really want it to bring it in on a perfect time, set up with it, and then just win the game straight up, or do as much damage as I possibly can, which allows my other Pokemon to win the game. So that's basically the thought process behind the team or the core I'm going to build around. And Mega Diancie has some nice coverage, even though I said it cannot kill bulky steel types. But apart from that, it can basically kill everything. It can hit it very hard on every single side. That's mainly because its special attack stat. With the rash nature or modest nature, you hit 460 special attack, which is ridiculous. And Moonblast plus Earthquake, Diamond Storm hits on a physical side, but that doesn't even matter because its physical attack is still almost 360 without any investment. While I have 4 EVs, and I mean 356 is a very respectable number to have without any investment. I don't think any other physical attacker has that in the OU meta game. I could very well be wrong right there, but no, I think Kieran Black is the only one that actually surpasses it on that particular aspect, and that's the only mon. And Kieran B has a shitty move pool. That's the only reason why it's OU, due to that attack stat. As I said, the mon that works very well with Diancie is going to be Magnezone, and I've run a choice specs Magnezone with max speed because I do want to outspeed certain bulky mons. Magnezone is actually a pretty slow Pokemon, and I want to just give it max speed with Timid. This still allows you to hit KO the utility Ferrothorn, which everyone's using right now with the 88 in defense, and then the rest of it in special defense. I think it's like 168 plus. Not too sure. Could be you can run either plus defense nature or plus special defense nature. I don't think it matters all that much. Depends on your particular team, of course. But what we're gonna do is it's plain and simple. As Magnezone says, nothing special. It's the one you see the majority of time. It's a thunderbolting, volt switching, flash cannon, HP fire. Nothing too special about this mon. The next Pokemon though is something to complete our core. Is because there's obviously the plain and simple water, fire, grass core, which almost always works. I've built teams where it doesn't work, but I've built a lot of teams where it does work, and you can kind of create your comfort zone. But with the upcoming Fairy Pokemon, there is a new core. It's called the Dragon Steel Fairy Core. So what we're gonna do is put in a Dragon type to finish up our offensive core, and this also allows us to have a defogger. So the mon I'm obviously talking about is going to be Latios, and it's going to be the very standard set with the Life Orb, Draco Meteor, Psyshock, to hit those damn Venusaurs, and then we have Earthquake because of the Latios always lures in Heatrons, and then you can just straight up kill it with an Earthquake, or this also allows it to hit KO by Sharp. Earthquake, and then last move, as I said, is going to be Defog. We are going to be running the very standard spread with the minus defense over special defense, because Latios can then switch into a lot of mons, a lot of attacks from especially offensive mons. I don't want to. I know for now that's very susceptible to priority, but I don't think that really matters all that much. Now I want to introduce you to a Keldeo set, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, there are only two Keldeo sets I use. Basically one, because I only use Spec set, and occasionally I tend to switch it up to Subcom Mine, but I'm not too fussed about that set because I rarely find the opportunity to set up like 1 or 2 combines. So I do think that the Spec set is a lot better, but this is going to be a different one. And I was actually kind of inspired, quote unquote inspired, by, what's his name again, the Sorkinist, and he runs Expert Belt Keldeo. This team is looking pretty weak to stall or very bulky mons or things that can regen health. And we are going to prevent that with the Taunt Expert Belt Keldeo, because the opponent doesn't see an item, they always think you are either Scarf or Specs. They don't tend to think you're Specs because the damage output. If you play any experienced opponents, if you play less experienced opponents, they can still think that you are Specs, but the majority of the time they are going to think that you are a Choice Scarf. And what we're going to do is we're going to run Scald, the Secret Sword. Oh, not Secret Power, Secret Sword. And the last move is going to be Icy Wind, because I have found that Icy Wind is very useful. Icy Wind allows Magnezone, allows Latios to outspeed a lot of things which it usually couldn't. And this is just plain simple, a very good move, because it hits a lot of things in the tier for quad super effective damage. With the Expert Belt it gets a tiny boost, and this also lowers their speed, because that's what Icy Wind does. 100% chance to lower the full speed by 1. Next up is going to be our Stealth Rocker, because obviously when we are looking at this offensive team which we are building, we need something that will set up Stealth Rocks, and who else to do that apart from Landorus Therian, which is probably one of the most reliable rockers in the game. And this also gives us a check to sand offense, which would otherwise kind of wreck us at this point, because Excadrill in the sand, nothing really wants to take it, and Landorus Therian kind of checks it, actually pretty much walls it, as you will. So we go for Stealth Rocks, and then there's Earthquake, because otherwise this thing is going to be set up fodder for Talonflame, something my team doesn't handle particularly well either. But those are all offensive mons, and when you're building an offensive team, obviously you don't handle them all that well because your Pokemon aren't that bulky. But basically what's going to happen is that you want to be in the lead, in charge of the entire game. And the last move, obviously, to keep that momentum is going to be U-turn. So this is a plain and simple set. It is obviously going to be with the Bolt Nature, because we were not running Impish Nature, I'm sorry about that, because we are not running any special attacks. We could run the Hidden Power Ice, but then we'd have to sacrifice Stone Edge or Earthquake, which absolutely wouldn't make any sense. We run the Speed EVs because I encountered the Specs Magnezone as well, and it outsped me and it fucked me up. So we run 88 speed to outspeed max speed base 60s. That's basically why we're doing that. And otherwise Magnezone is going to be a problem to my team as well. Well, I do have Keldeo, I do have Earthquake, I do have Mega Diancie actually, so it won't be that big of a problem, but I don't want Landorus to take any chip damage from mons like that. And then we are going to have the last Pokemon already, so which is going to be Tornadus Therian. Tornadus Therian is becoming one of my favorite mons right now, and it's basically because I'm watching a lot of Flashfire lately. It's the guy who gave me a shout out, and he uses Kapora or Tornadus Therian, as if you're not subscribed to him. Uses an awful lot, and it's an Assault Vest Regenerator one, and I decided to just go with the Hurricane Focus Blast. And then we have Sludge Wave actually, because this team doesn't handle fairies particularly well, so I figured an extra coverage move wouldn't be too bad. I could also put Heat Wave on it or Hidden Power Ice, but I felt that this was going to be the better move since I already have ice coverage. I already have the option to trap steel types. If I really want to do that, I can just trap them by going for U-turn, so I'm not too worried about steel types in general due to Magnezone. Keldeo in general handles them really well too, so that's why I'm not too fussed about them. So the EV spread we are going to be running for the Tornado Starion is going to be 40 in HP, and then we have 216 plus in speed, which allows us to outspeed Superiors? I think it's max speed superior. Then we are going to put the remaining 252 in special attack. Like I planned it like that. It's amazing, isn't it? That I have exactly 252 remaining. But that's going to be the team. This team is kind of in its infancy. I've used it a couple times. I've won a lot of battles, which I thought it worked really well. It worked brilliantly, but sometimes it doesn't work like I want it to work, and so it's kind of has weaknesses here and there. I cannot name particular mons which I struggle with. Well, one of them obviously is going to be Mega Pincer, because that kind of destroys my team. After an SD, and if Landers is kind of weakened, Landers is a check to a lot of things. It's a check to Sand Offense, is my check to Mega Pincer, of course. So that's kind of why I am Talon Flame, as I said before. So that's kind of why I need Landers Starion on this team. Otherwise, I would get swept by a lot of things. Even though my team is kind of fast. Believe it or not, I actually ended up beating a rain team with this thing. I ended up getting a late game sweep with Mega Diancie, got the Intimidate off on Mega Swampert in the rain, and then there was one turn of rain left. I set up a rock polish with Mega Diancie, the rain ends, and I just sweep his entire team with the Moonblast, Earth Power, Diamond Storm combination. I was really happy about myself right there. It's because Magnezone already had trapped the Ferrothorn and brought it to about 27%. But that was it for this team preview. Hope you enjoyed, and be looking forward to the battles. Peace.